there, how are you doing today? Diana from Adirondack Girl at Heart. I teach vintage and antique lovers how to create successful antique businesses that they love. One of the ways they do that is through these videos. And today I want to focus on my recent vintage book finds. I have to admit that I have a little bit of a book fetish. I'm constantly trying to keep myself from buying too many books. I'm not very successful at that. I'm going to start with a few books that I would call classics. I may have already shared this with you. If I did, just ignore me, okay? So this is Kipling's Boy Stories, and of course, Kipling falls into the classic category. I thought the cover was just really beautiful, and it dates to, no, I can't remember what the date was, 1916. And I paid $1 for it, and I will I'll price it at $12. And here's another classic. This is Little Dorrit by Dickens. Not in great shape, and I did pay $1 for it. It's going to need some repair. I will probably not do that. It has a leather spine and leather corners and marbleized cover here, and I will probably price it at $8 to $10 because of its condition. Another classic, this is Treasure Island by Stevenson. That's who it's by, right? Yes, Robert Louis Stevenson. And there's no date. I'm gonna call 1950s or 60s. It's this kind of faux leather cover, and I sell these well for $8 to $10. Happy Hollisters. Did you ever read these when you were a kid? I did. I read them. Sometimes you'll see them without their dust jacket. They're bright red, and they date to, this one's 1956. It's unusual to find them still with the covers, so that's why, especially why I picked it up. But people like this title, Happy Hollisters, in general, I mean, and it was $1 at a garage sale, and I will price it probably at $10 to $12. And then here I'm calling Nancy Drew and Happy Hollisters classics because I can. This is a new edition of Nancy Drew for me. I haven't seen it. This one dates to 1979. It comes with these kind of unattractive brown covers, but I wanted to add it to my article that I wrote about Nancy Drew's, just to acknowledge that it came in this form. I paid $1 for it, and I will price it probably at like $5 or $6. The next category of books I'm calling references. Here's a little dictionary. People like little books, and it has this bonded leather cover, which makes it nice. It was $1, and I will price it at $8 to $10. And then I picked up this medical dictionary because it was free. And it has some nice illustrations in it. And also, I think the people in the medical field like vintagey style medical books like this. And it is from 1963. Has these tabs on the side, and I will price it at $10. And then the last reference book, this is 1931 Atlas with some really great maps inside. It was $1, and I will price it at $12. And then I have a third category that I'm calling historic, and it includes some booklets, but here's the first one, Knickerbocker's History of New York. So Knickerbocker is a Dutch term, and we have a lot of things in my area called Knickerbocker. We have a stadium that the first name was Knickerbocker. I think now it's the Pepsi Arena. It was a Knickerbocker. And I think we had a newspaper called Knickerbocker. Anyway, this is History of New York. So people who live here are going to be interested in it. It's 1928. It's a library edition. It's red, which also makes it attractive as far as decorating goes. And all these books were $1, except for the pamphlets I'm going to show you. They were 50 cents each. So I will price this at about 10 to 12. And then here's the Addams Family by James Addams. Nice color, so great for decorating. As I said, it was $1, and the date on it is 1930. And I just assumed that it was about the Addams, who were founders of the country and presidents at various times. I would like to research it, because I would typically price it at $10 to $12, but it could be worth much more than that. And this I just found inside. It says, The Dawn of Peace, Yorktown, 1781. So this must be the end of the Revolutionary War. Maybe it's announcing that. It says, it calls it victory. So that was interesting to find inside. Here are the booklets that I picked up. They are all about Schenectady. I live in Albany County, but we're right next door to Schenectady. And so these things will sell quite well from my antique booth. I will price them $5 to $6. This one is Schenectady's historic district. That's called the Stockade. And I actually have a blog post about the Stockade. This is called Old Schenectady. This is called Trolleys, the Forgotten Transportation, but I think it's primarily about Schenectady and Albany. Trolleys, Schenectady Then and Now. The Schenectady Massacre, which refers to the Native American massacre in the Stockade that I just referenced, and then Schenectady's Changing Scene. So $5 to $6. They were 50 cents each, and so I think that was well worth it. The last two books I want to show you aren't really easily categorized. I bought this one because of the title, Once Upon a Time. I think someone's going to want that, plus this gorgeous red spine. I will price it at $6 to $8. And then this isn't really a book. This is an accounting book, but I have been selling sort of ephemera like this, booklets, empty booklets, or sometimes they have writing in them on Etsy. And so I think I have a larger sterling ledger like this one, so I probably put the two together and sell them for something like $18 to $22. Let's take a look at some ephemera now. I recently picked up a couple of pretty Christmas postcards. These are Victorian. They were $1 each, and I scanned them and used them for projects, and I sell them also. These would be worth about probably $3 each, something like that. And then I picked up a stack of postcards. These are local sites dating to the turn of the century, meaning the early 1900s. So I think these are going to turn out to be quite valuable. In the description below, I will have done some research on them and I'll let you know. They were 4 for $1. So this one right here is the Governor's Mansion in Albany. So that's the governor of New York State. And I've actually been there when I worked in the legislature, but I've never seen these awnings. These striped awnings, so I'm guessing they aren't even there anymore. And then I got one from a hotel on State Street in Albany. That's the Hotel Wellington. And hotel postcards on their own tend to do quite well. And then here, this is fascinating. This is the public market. Down here below are cart and horses and carts, wagons. At Albany's market, which is no longer functioning, which is not a big surprise, right, for us in America, but we lived in England for 2 years, and there are markets everywhere, market towns, where that's like the focus. That's where everything that's happening happens there. And my favorite flea market was in Chesterfield, England, which had a huge market, and every day was something different. One day it would be new items, another day it was all produce, and the day I went, it was vintage and antiques. So we used to have markets in America, but not anymore. And then this is a picture of a very residential neighborhood, Madison and Western Avenue, and that's what it looked like back in the early 1900s, and now it's just all homes, usually 2 flat homes. It's a very popular place for students to rent apartments. And then here's North Pearl Street, which is in downtown Albany. Very wide boulevard there. So I'm thinking like $3 or $4 each from my antique booth. But like I said, I'm going to research them, and I'll get back to you. And then here's a little packet. It's not of postcards. It's a little souvenir packet of Washington, D.C. I paid 50 cents for it. Thought it was very pretty. Inside, it has images of Washington. And it should sell for about $6 or $7. And then here's just some ephemera. I picked up this this was at a garage sale of somebody who sells vintage and antiques, and he said, oh, pick up a stack of them, and you can have them for $1. So these are the little cards. I think that train, people who worked on the train, who sold tickets, they would put this in the back of your seat to indicate that you had paid. Something like that. If anybody knows better, you can let me know. But I thought these would be great in art projects. So the last thing I want to show you is just a simple, very simple calling card. Victorian type of calling card that just has the person's name on it. On the back it says Merry Christmas. So this would have been dropped off at a friend's house. And typically, when you brought your calling cards, they would go on a little tray, and then the homeowner would eventually look at them and respond or set up a date or something like that if they weren't home. And of course, we're familiar with the really ornate, beautiful Victorian ones. This is just so simple. And I do have an article on my website all about Victorian calling cards, so I'll link to that. I also have an article about how to clean vintage and antique books, so I'll link to that as well. And since we talked about children's book, I have an article all about little golden books that I think you might find really interesting. So thanks for joining me today with my book and ephemera finds. I hope that you will give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go visit my blog. I would love to see you over there. And as always, happy hunting.